All right, I'm the flat rate master, and well, let's talk about skill versus pay. Now, as a lot of my Talking Head Monday videos come from, it comes from various sources, including Facebook, groups I'm in. But a lot of times you hear discussions about technician A is underpaid for the job he does via flat rate, via hourly, via salary, doesn't matter for this discussion. Just FYI. It's literally what their paycheck is. Now, there's many reasons for a technician to make what they make. There's reasons that are not just our industry. Some of it has to come from, well, you, the technician, and in various ways. Now let's talk about a technician that's in their mind being underpaid. Technician thinks he's underpaid for the job he does. What does he really produce? And this is one of the discussions that always gets into hourly versus flat rate, is because flat rate guy knows what he produces. He makes X amount of dollars for every hour he bills. So every week, he knows what he produced for the shop. Important point about that is he knows what he produces. A lot of hourly shops, not every one, and a lot of other shops tend to hide some of that information from their technicians. Don't ask me why. It is not the case in this shop. But a lot of technicians don't know what they produce when they're hourly. You know, literally, the only way to find out how many hours they produce is either to track it themselves, program, piece of paper, etc., and actually look at how many hours they bill, tickets sold, amount sold. A lot of shops keep that information strictly for management, and I cannot stand that. One, what are you hiding? Especially think that on flat rate is, what are you hiding that you're not letting the technician see what he actually built? Because I've seen shady stuff when they hide that information. Just saying. So an hourly technician may not know his hours are slipping. He's just doing what he needs to do. He doesn't realize that he's gone from when he hired producing 50 hours to 40 hours to 35 hours. A lot of discussion in shop management groups is falling production. And it happens to a lot of techs, period. Flat rate techs kind of get tired of the grind and they slow down a little bit. They get a little older. Hourly techs don't have an incentive to, produce as much as they used to. Like, for instance, they went from flat rate to hourly, so they produce less. And if management isn't doing anything about that, they don't know any the wiser. Here's the thing. When that technician who went from producing 50 hours to producing 35 goes and asks for a raise, if he doesn't know that his production has fallen that much, he doesn't know why he got told no for a raise. Oh, I'm working hard, I'm doing this, but if you don't track it as a technician and management doesn't share that information with you, you may not know that, the reason you're not getting a raise is because your production has fallen. That's why. And that's one of the issues I actually have with hourly is, got paid how you want. I don't care. But hourly shops generally pay less per hour, generally, than a technician that's flat rate. I've seen it where identical techs make different per hour. One's flat rate, makes more. Hourly tech makes less per hour because he's hourly. Why? Because management has seen that falling scale of productivity. Now, good management will keep you abreast of that, will talk to you about it. Oh, we've noticed your production is falling. Is there something going on? Is it you're not getting enough cars. Good management is rare. That's one of the big things about, management. There's a lot of bad managers out there. If you don't have access to see your numbers, you may not know it. You may not realize, because you're working at a steady pace. You're not out back drinking a bunch of Monsters, hiding behind the tire stack. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it just is one of the things that happens with, shop productivity. It can fall very quickly, actually. And you have to understand that as you want to get more money, you have to prove to the shop why you deserve that money. And that's one of the reasons why it's so much easier to get a raise going to the next shop, is because, management sees all those magic numbers and goes, it's not worth it. He doesn't make me enough money to justify me paying him that much. And that's one of the big problems with a lot of society, is they don't understand that, big evil businessman is keeping all the money for himself. On the other side of it, he's looking at what you actually make him. And if you don't make him a lot of money, what you make isn't going to go up. Whether you're hourly or flat rate, you still got to produce. So when it comes to asking for more money, you have to go in, you have to produce, you have to make the shop money. If you want more money, you have to produce, and you then ask for money. I mean, the thing about it is, if you're producing 50, 60 hours a week and you're hourly, you probably need to ask for more money. Unless you're getting really good money. Most people don't understand, I'm there all day, but what did you produce? As much as people don't like flat rate, guess what? You're still judged by flat rate on hourly. Every technician, every employee in the world is measured on their productivity. Period. End of story. And that affects their paycheck. That affects your paycheck. So you have to look not only at the shop you work at, but you also have to look at you. Because one of the limiting factors of a lot of technicians is not just the shop they work in, it's their skills, their productivity, and them. A lot of people are very afraid of actually asking for more money. Best way they figure out to get more money is to change jobs, because they might offer them more money. If they don't offer more money, they don't take the job. If you know a situation is good, why would you do that? Ask for a raise, but go armed with the information of what you produce for the shop. Whether you track it yourself or you get it from management, or like here, every technician has a workstation and we can pull up the hours we've billed for the month, the year, or the entire time we've worked here. So figure out your productivity for the shop. Either fix it or ask for more money. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.